Welcome back to the second part or the concluding part of the SQL fundamentals. And in the last video, we stopped at data types. Okay, so pick up from there and look at the remaining two things we have. Now, we want to see some basic SQL operations. Now that we have a good knowledge of database, okay, we have a good knowledge of database, SQL, things that are tied around the SQL and all. Okay, so to create a table, how do we create it? We have the keyword create table. Then this will be our table name. Now, once we're done with that, we open the bracket, we close it, put a semicolon. Now, note that this can be on a straight line, but for readability, it is formatted this way. So in the bracket, what do we have? The column name, the data type, and optionally a constraint, optionally. But if we don't pass in this, it will throw an error. But this can be skipped, okay? But we know why we use them, for data integrity, right? So we have primary key, and this does not have a constraint, this does not have a constraint, this does not have a constraint as well. So that I'm not sure what that is. It's you, it's not me. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I can cancel it. Okay, let's just leave it. Now, the next thing is insert. Okay, all right. So the next thing is insert. How do we insert record into the table we create, or the table we created? So we say insert into employees ID, then we list out the fields. Of course, practically we'll still see when we should list out the fields and when we should not bother to do so. Okay, now we have values, and then we list out the values we want to put in there. So 1 goes into the ID, Alice goes into the name, 30 goes into the age, and engineering goes into the department. So now let's say we have added some records, or just one. We want to see what is inside our table. What do? We query the database, DML, we query DQL, query it. Then we say select all. Asterisk means all, it's a white card, so select all that we have. That means all in this case is with reference to the column. Select all from employees. And of course, let's say someone's age has changed, or the email. Here is how we update. For every keyword of update, a set follows. So we'll say update this table, then change this age, which we use the word set. So 31, where ID is 1, for example. And we can delete from a table. Just that when we're deleting, we must be careful not to miss out on the where clause. Why? If we don't, and we run this guy alone, all our entire record will be deleted from the database. And you probably do not want a new career change, a new life journey, a new career path the first day you start working as a data analyst. Imagine you delete a company's database. You'll be offered a free ride to where you start a new career. You just have to, you're gonna be doing data analysis anymore. Okay, that's just by the way. And so the where clause is important, so we can isolate the record we want to delete. Next, filtering data. How do we filter data? The keyword where is how we filter data. For example, we want to only see the engineering department. So we say where, select all from employees, where department equals to engineering. We have different operators. We have the greater than, we have the greater than or equal to, we have the less than, we have the less than or equal to. Okay, we have them just like that. We have the not. Now for removing duplicates, which is a way of filtering our data as well, we can use the keyword select distinct from department. Select distinct department from employees. So if you have 10 employees, I want to see the major employees who are not, um, for example, if you say you want to see, um, maybe it's a teacher in school, someone who teaches 5 subjects. Okay, if we're talking about the subject, the person might appear 5 times, but just one person, right? Or it's simple. Let's say it this way: we can have many customers from the same city or town, right? But it doesn't mean they are different towns. So from the same place, many people has the answer. So of course, the record or that value will be duplicated in that column. What if we want to see the total number of cities or states, distinct cities or states or column or towns, sorry, where we have our customers from? We have to use the keyword select distinct from employees. Now, limit is another way to also filter our data, and it's good for getting the top 10, top 5, bottom 5, bottom 10. Okay. Of course, we use the word top in, let's say, for example, SQL Server. Okay. Now, the next thing is grouping and aggregation, still under basic operation. So, how do we group? Now, these are the aggregate functions we have. See examples. Select count. That means we want to see the total number of employees. So, we're saying count all employees. We're saying select the average age of all employees. And we're saying get the total salary paid to the employees. So this is how we group. You see how we added this. So count them by department. So select department, then count all from employees, group by department. So we want to see the number of employees in individual departments. Also, we have filtering grouped data. So let's say we want to filter this data. We only want to see the department where they have more than 5 employees. This is how we do it. We just add the keyword having to this entire code. This is the previous code. We only added this, or we only add this to it. And what's the difference? Where filters row, having filters group. Now we also have case statement, which you can use for feature engineering. And what is feature engineering? Creating new columns from existing one to add more value or meaning to your data. Right. So we also have subqueries. Subqueries are like nested functions. Now, if you think of a nest, the bed, no, not the bed of a nest, the nest of a bird, and you will notice that it is interwoven, right? So that means one is inside another. So nested function. You can see we have a select name from student where score is greater than the average score of others of the entire student. So we're having another select inside a main select, although in the where clause. And what does this tell us? It finds the students above average. Now we have joins as well, inner join, that returns records matching from both tables. That means it returns records that have matching values in both tables. That means what is common to the two tables. That's all it returns. And this is how we write the syntax. You might want to keep that in mind. Then for left join, it returns all records from the left and the matching value from the right. Here's how you write the query. Don't worry, in the coming videos, we'll be looking at all of these things practically, okay? We'll also look at the installation process. We'll download and install together, okay? Now, the next one is right join, which returns all records from the right and matching records from the left. We also have full join, which is like a collaboration, okay? So returns all records from both tables. A self join. Now, a self join is a kind of join, yeah, maybe not so popularly known or so commonly used, but it has good use cases, okay? It's a table that is joined with itself. says it's used when a table needs to look at itself to find related information. Okay. And yes, finally, what are the best practices? Always define primary keys for unique identification of records. Use foreign keys to enforce referential integrity between tables. Normalize your tables to reduce data redundancy. Use indices or index, right, singular, to frequently query uh for frequently queried columns to optimize performance, right? If you using something often, they're just saying, okay, let's move it closer to you so you don't go all the way long to get it. Okay. Says apply constraint like no, unique, and check to enforce data integrity and avoid duplicates. And finally, use meaningful column names and think performance. That means you think like a senior engineer. How can this be better? Can we make this better? What should we do to make it better? Okay. And yes, this brings us to the end of SQL basics. I hope you have a great time. I hope you took note. I hope you understand things. If you have any question at all, feel free to reach out. And yes, we'll see you in the next video.